Now in its 9th year, this is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey everybody, this is Alex, and this is the Ramble. Yeah, and we go until midnight tonight here in the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, up to Massachusetts we go, and there once again, the lovely and attractive Stephen Kravitz. How you doing, Steve?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
Yeah, Steven, right?
Steven, there's an N there, yes.
Didn't we talk about this earlier, that when mothers always wanted to, talk to their kids in a harsh way, in other words, to admonish you.
Right.
They always
use Stephen J.
Oh, in
Stephen J.
your case, because they already did the Stephen no matter what, right?
Right. A lot.
What's the J for?
J-A-Y, J.
Oh, just J-A-Y.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's nice. Okay. And what's the derivation of Kravitz? Where is that from originally?
Polish, Russian, somewhere around there.
Really? Oh, okay. Your parents weren't immigrants at all?
No, my grandparents were.
Okay. Because my father was an immigrant. My mother was first generation American. In other words, her parents were immigrants.
Right.
So my father was an immigrant. My father came from Germany. And Poland, I think, as well.
Right. Right.
So those were the two places he was from, and but you're like second generation American, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Good.
Right.
Good for you. Good for you.
Good for me.
Good for you. What the hell? Who cares, right?
So what do you think about this Dominion Fox deal?
Okay, let's talk about it. It happened when we played this. It happened a couple of days ago.
Right.
I'm disappointed in Dominion in that I would have liked to have seen them go to the mat.
Right.
But
right.
I understand why they didn't, because in cases of most suits like this, if you can settle, you'd rather settle than spend the money on the court case.
Right. Right.
Okay. Secondly, it was in the best interest of Fox to settle because they didn't want Rupert Murdoch testifying.
Right.
Because he would have thrown the whole case into Dominion's hands, with what because he's already been deposed, and in his depositions he was coming down against his own company.
Is that right?
Yeah, saying that what happened shouldn't have happened and it was wrong. And that if he was a little more hands-on, he would have made sure it never happened.
Right. Sure.
Yeah, sure he would have. All they were thinking about was the bottom line with their bottom line users.
Right.
Right. And what happened is that when they called the election for Biden in Arizona, that's all she wrote. That all of a sudden people were stopping watching Fox, and that was hurting the bottom line. So they, after that, did everything they could to prevent the bottom line from falling under them. And what they were doing is they were starting to lie like crazy. They were making a case out of this Dominion thing, and there's still another company that's still suing Fox for even more money. For their voting machines. Right. I'm trying to remember the name of the company now. So that suit is coming up. So, but when you look at how it turned out, they didn't get an apology.
Right.
They didn't get a statement of, we did wrong.
Right.
Okay? Which would have said to their viewers, hey, don't believe anything we say.
Right.
Right. But they wouldn't do that. Well, that was, I think, an important factor. I think, yes, I would have settled for the money, but I also would have settled for an apology.
Right, me too.
And an admission that what they had done was wrong. And they didn't do that.
Right.
Why they didn't do that, I have no idea. I think the reason why you want to settle is because when you go into court, you never know how it's going to turn out.
That's right.
You can think you have a slam dunk case, and then it goes to the jury, and it comes out another way.
Right.
If you don't have to take that chance, that's fine, but it should have included the apology, which
Right.
I think Fox was adamant not to give.
Right.
Because what would that said to their viewers? I mean,
Well, it's been decided that what they were broadcasting was not news.
who's the fake news now?
Right.
But no, here's the interesting part. You're going to love this. Over at Fox, this whole thing was a big story everywhere you went. It was even on the late night news, whether it was CBS, NBC, ABC, or whatever.
Right.
Do you think anything was mentioned about it on Fox News?
Probably not.
Nothing.
Right.
Zero. Zilch. And the local Fox-owned stations briefly mentioned it. Like towards the end of the newscasts.
Right,
Things
right.
like
As
that.
a throwaway.
As a throwaway, yeah. So, I mean, their viewers still don't know what happened in that trial.
Right.
Right. So how are you serving your public? I mean, this was big news.
Yeah.
And I really felt though that Dominion should have held out for an apology as well.
Yeah. That's what people are upset about the Dominion settling, was they didn't get the apology.
Yeah, I don't fail them for settling. Hell, I've been through court cases. I went through one for 9 years.
Right.
And we kept always trying to settle. We didn't want to go all the way to a court case, because the minute you go into court, there's where the real money starts getting spent. You got
Right.
lawyers sitting there 8 hours a day.
Right.
You're watching the clock, but they're not.
No kidding.
And it really you want to settle if you can, but you'd like some kind of also. I think they needed an apology. If I were their legal team, and I think they would have finally folded to that rather than go to trial.
Right.
Because I don't think they wanted to take chances. Because just because they were suing for $1.6 billion dollars, just because they were suing for that doesn't mean that a jury wouldn't give them more.
Right.
Right. Now, let's face it, the pockets over at Fox are deep. They put out almost $800 million in this settlement.
Is that right?
Which amounts to 20% of their yearly income.
Gosh.
So, they're not going to hurt financially.
No.
But you'd like to hurt them in the most important way, and that is them having to admit they were wrong, that they were spreading lies.
And they should have fired those 4 hosts.
Well, they weren't going after Tucker Carlson, oddly enough. He wasn't named he was going to be put on the stand.
Right.
But he wasn't named in the suit. Hannity was named in the suit. Was it Laura Ingraham, I think, was named in the suit. What's her name? The person over at the financial woman, they used to call her the money honey. Maria Bartiromo was named in the suit. And, of course, let's see here, Rupert Murdoch named in the suit.
Right.
But these were all people who, then Lou Dobbs, who they fired. They fired Lou Dobbs. He was a sacrificial lamb. But he was the guy who was most involved in perpetuating the lie.
Right. And they were saying, the host would say one thing on the air and then text that this is just nonsense to friends and family.
Well, here's what happened. Here's what somebody said. I was watching the news today. The reason why they settled like they did and they didn't ask for an apology is that most of the information about those texts and everything already got out to the general public. So it was common knowledge. So if they didn't get the apology, that's on the record anyway. As part of the stuff that was going to be put on in the suit itself, in the trial.
Right.
But you always want to avoid a trial if at all possible, because while you may think you got a slam dunk case, you don't necessarily.
That may not be the case.
That may not be the case. Yeah. A jury might say, we want them. Yes, they're guilty, but they only have to pay them $100 million. So that being the case, you don't want to take those chances. You'd like a slam dunk, and if you're going to get half of what you asked for, that's pretty good.
Right.
Because you were asking for a lot.
Yeah, no kidding.
But I'm somewhat disappointed that Dominion didn't at least ask for the apology and demand that as part of the. Yeah, but when do they apologize? At 3:00 in the morning?
Right, and who apologizes? Yeah.
How practical is an apology?
Right.
Unless you require them to change their motto to "We lie all the time."
Right.
But you know what gets me? Foxes are always going to exist. That kind of thing is always going to exist. It's our job as the American public to reject that. And when you find that Fox has the largest audience in broadcasting,
is that right?
Yes, in news broadcasting, among those news channels.
Right.
Incredible numbers. I mean, they're up to, sometimes they beat the networks in prime time. But that being the case, you have to question whether the American public is doing their due diligence. I mean, I'm not going to watch Fox because I know they lie. And I don't watch MSNBC that much because they lie too.
Right.
But the kind of lie they did at Fox was unquestionably terrible.
Right.
They besmirched a company who, has employees to pay and a reputation to maintain.
Right.
And just said, oh, these machines were fixed. Well, that's
that's not the truth.
It's not the truth, and it is going to hurt the company's bottom line if they don't sue.
Right.
Now, if they sued and won, nobody's going to think Dominion machines are, fake.
You would think that. You would hope that. But there's still people who believe Fox News.
Well, because that's all they watch.
Right.
Marjorie, my wife, watches nothing but MSNBC. If I put on Fox, because sometimes I'll put on Fox because I want to see what they're saying about a particular news item.
Right.
How they're parsing it, I turn on Fox and she goes, turn that off. And I'm going, but you're only watching MSNBC. You're only getting their take on everything. Because every time I tune into MSNBC, it's Trump bad, Biden terrific. Even
Rachel Maddow.
I mean, they all are touting that it's not that they're necessarily Democrats, but they're definitely anti-Trump, and so everything is parsed in that direction. Now, quite frankly, I would say there are bound to be some good things about Donald Trump, and then I thought about it, and that's a stupid statement in and of itself. I mean, but I mean, why aren't they reporting? They don't have the balance either. I don't see that many Republicans on MSNBC. Now, they may have a hard time getting them, is what the problem might be, but I just don't see the balance there either. I mean, I will have to say I appeared for quite a while. The main I was you're going to love this, for at least 10 weeks on MSNBC when he was a host on MSNBC. I was a regular on Tucker Carlson.
Is that right?
Yeah. He wasn't as he was right wing, but he wasn't as right wing then, and they got rid of him because he was right wing. Okay, but he treated me really well. I never met him. I never met him. He was over in New Jersey, and I was in a little studio in Manhattan. But we went back and forth with each other, and he had me on every week. He liked me being on, and I had that left-wing approach to everything.
Right.
He had me on with a right-winger, but there was some balance going there. That was in the early days when MSNBC actually had balance because they didn't know what they were.
Right. Right.
But and then let me see here. Then also when I wasn't doing Tucker over at MSNBC, the other people that primarily always asked me to come over on a fairly regular basis was Fox.
Is that right?
Yeah, and I, they allowed me to say what I had to say. And I found a lot of balance going on there because I found that the shows they put me on had balance, or that balance that I, as a real heavy left winger, was happy with.
Right.
And I was in makeup once. I remember at Fox, and the woman's making me up, and they say, "Oh well, and what do you do?" And I said, "Well, I'm a broadcaster. I'm over at Sirius XM right across the street here." And she said, "Oh, and what political side are you on?" And I said, "Well, I'm a big lefty." And she said to me, "Boy, you're in trouble."
Really?
She said, "You're in trouble. You're here. You're at Fox,
Right.
And I went, "Yeah, I guess so, But I never felt that. I always felt I was fairly well treated over there, So you couldn't. And also, you know what I liked about him? I'd go over to MSNBC, and over there it was all on the cheap. I sat in a studio with a robot camera looking in my face.
Right.
Talking to a guy who's in a studio in New Jersey, because it's cheaper to do it in New Jersey where they had big studios than to do it in Manhattan. The reason, by the way, interesting little sidebar here. Do you know why NBC had studios in New Jersey?
No, why?
Because in the early days of TV, when they would get a show that was from California or whatever, and it was on Kinescope, or they were shipped film to play.
Right.
If they shipped it into Manhattan, there was a tax. But if you shipped it into New Jersey, there was no tax. So
what kind of tax did New York have?
They had just on film coming into New York. Just film in general, yeah. So rather than pay the tax, they ran all their film programs out of New Jersey. And that's why they had a studio in New Jersey that Tucker Carlson was working out of.
Right.
So, but that's a little bit of bonus history you got here today, folks. But anyway, he was always over there, and I was in a studio. Meanwhile, I go over to Fox. There are 3 cameras there. There's a guy behind every camera. They're not robot cameras.
Right.
And I went, for an organization that's like right wing, they certainly like to keep the unions happy, and there were, and I found that to be true almost everywhere I went, that there were going to be robot cameras and so on, but not at Fox.
Oh, really?
Fox, there was somebody running every camera, and I see them today on some of their shows. They'll show the whole studio, and there's somebody behind every camera. And they don't have to do that. There are robot cameras now.
Is that right?
Yeah, I
never heard of such a thing.
Most of your local news, they're robot cameras,
Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's some guy in the control room just operating them. And that would disconcert. I don't know. I mean, I haven't done television in years, but that would sort of throw me off a little bit.
Right.
Having robot cameras there,
I don't think they could do that in film.
Well, in film, it's a different story. In film, you need a camera operator.
Right.
But it's a different kind of camera operator now. Very few of the cameras that are used to make movies have film in the camera. They're all digital.
Right.
So you don't have to have somebody there, okay, we need another magazine loaded into the camera.
Right.
Remember, that used to take a while.
Yes.
They don't do that anymore. Plus, because they're digital, they can just keep rolling. They don't have
Right.
to, you really don't run out of hard drive space. And if you do, you just flop in a new hard drive.
Right.
But that's maybe 5 hours later,
Right.
So, all the business has changed in a lot of ways, but over at Fox, they're still using camera people, which I kudos to them,
Yeah, no kidding.
keeping people working.
Yes.
But, so that's how I feel about Fox, and about that case. I'm disappointed the Dominion didn't settle.
Who do they want to have apologies from? The hosts?
I think then they probably would want an apology from just the network as a whole.
Okay.
I'm sure that if they did it on the air, they could bury it somewhere, or they could do it really fast or whatever. But if they did a general apology in the final thing, like, we're sorry for what we've done,
Right.
we apologize for it, it was wrong of us and it was egregious and blah 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 blah, and then they make that statement. It can be a prepared statement, written statement, whatever. Then that would have been in the press today.
Right.
Fox admits they were wrong.
Right.
And
Settling, doesn't that admit they were wrong by settling?
settling, they can always they after it was all over, they went out publicly and said, this shows that we're still dedicating ourselves to the finest of journalistic standards. That's kind of what they said.
Right.
So they never really had to say, hey, but we're reporting all this wrong and lying about it to make money because
we're making this up. We're making up the news.
We see people don't understand. They misunderstand ratings and advertising. You can have low ratings and lots of advertising.
Right.
What ratings do is establish the price for that advertising.
Oh, okay.
Okay? So what you're selling on is what we used to call in the business, I think they still call it in the business, cost per thousand. How much money is it costing me as an advertiser to get 1,000 eyes?
Right.
So if it's like, 15 cents per 1,000 views, fine. But if I've only got 15,000 people, then I'm only going to be able to charge 15 cents for that commercial.
Oh, is that right?
Right? But if I've got 1 million viewers, well, now it's much more I can charge.
Right.
For those, because I'm simply selling eyes.
Right.
And so what they were worried about is the eyes would go down, and therefore their bottom line would go down. So,
Fox is nonsense.
Fox is nonsense. They're all nonsense. They all have an axe to grind.
Right.
And they're all there for profit. And,
that's right.
I don't find MSNBC reliable. I wish
Really?
I did. I wish I did find them reliable, but I don't. I don't believe them because even though they're telling me what I want to hear. Okay,
Right.
But I've never been that way. Don't tell me what I want to hear. In fact, tell me something I don't know.
Right.
Or something I don't want to hear. Hey, Biden was wrong in doing this. I was on the political channel at Sirius XM, and I think one of the main reasons I got let go from there after 9 years, they should have decided by then that I was okay, after 9 years, was because I questioned some of the practices of Barack Obama.
Oh, really?
I said, I'd vote for him, and I basically like him, but here he's wrong, and here he's wrong, and he's doing this wrong, and because my problem with him is that he was pretty much an amateur president. He'd just become president,
right?
After being in the Senate for only 2 years,
right?
Okay, but I was always questioning him. Holding him to account for things he did.
Sure.
And I'm sure that's what got me out of there. It's because I wasn't rooting for the team.
Right. Right. You weren't towing the company line.
Well, the company line, or kissing the ass of my audience.
Right.
And making them happy. Some of them would write this. How can you have this guy on your left wing channel when he's so right wing? And I go, I'm not right wing. I'm very left-wing, and that's why I'm questioning Obama's practices.
Right.
But unless you root for the home team, man, you're in trouble. And that's why I think about it to this day that I'm out of there.
Right.
But anyway, hey, listen, nice having this little lecture I could give you on the history of broadcasting and how advertising is and so on and so forth, and I'm sure that helped the public in general as well. Do you feel fully educated now?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to go out and take the test.
Okay, then get lost. We'll talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Now in its 9th year, this is GabNet, the great American broadcast network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Oh, yeah. Whoops, I got to turn on the lights. There we go. I knew I didn't do something there that wasn't right. Okay. And let me just bring myself up here a little bit more. There we go. See, I mean, I do everything here. I run the audio, I run the video, I run the and as I get older, I forget how to do these things. So, Anyway, listen, this is a Thursday already, and we have one person waiting to talk to us. Quality person, but one person waiting to talk to us. And by the way, if you I never mentioned this, but I would like it, and I would appreciate it if you would subscribe to me. Just go down right there where it says subscribe and push the subscribe button, okay? And then you don't get anything for it. It's just that YouTube thinks better of me, okay? They'll probably demonetize me less. Somebody said if I wanted to not get demonetized a lot, maybe I shouldn't use the name Alex Bennett. So maybe I'll use another name for this show. Won't call it Alex Bennett's anything. Because every time I have something with Alex Bennett in the name, they seem to demonetize it. I don't understand it. Anyway, let me just admit the one person that we've got waiting here. Let me see here. There we are. And there he is. There he is, Charlie Wallace. Hi, Charlie. It's just you and me.
Wow.
It must be...
No otter like me.
No otter like me. Oh, that's the first one you've had in a long time that didn't have a scientific bent to it.
Well, I got it at the Georgia State Aquarium on my vacation to Atlanta several years ago.
Now, are otters supposed to be cute?
Yeah.
I guess. Because they're always floating on their back, right?
Well, yeah, they do all kinds of tricks and stuff, and nice little gymnastics. And
what we're going to do for the next hour, since nobody's calling, Charlie and I are just going to talk about otters.
Works for me.
You don't have a problem with that, do you?
Yeah, I love otters.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of otters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, each his own.
But what do I know, right?
Yeah.
I'm just an otter hater. That's all. How can you hate those little animals? They're so cute,
I know, they are cute. Yeah.
Yeah, they just kind
People keep them as pets.
Do they have them as pets?
Oh, I'm thinking of.
You're thinking of I know what you're thinking of. Weasels? No.
With an F, it starts with an F.
Ferrets.
Ferrets, yeah. Ferret.
I don't know why. I mean, ferrets are they're weaselly.
Yeah.
That's all they are.
Are they rodents? Aren't they rodents like mice?
I think, in some states, I think like in California, I think it is illegal to have ferrets. I believe, to own a ferret. Maybe here comes Alan. Maybe he knows. Is it Alan? In California, is it illegal to have ferrets, to own a ferret?
I don't know.
Oh, well, so much for you and what you know about California.
I know a lot about California. I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of wild animals you can't have in California that you can have. You can't even have snake or alligator skin boots here.
Well,
Oh, wow.
I can see that because what you're encouraging is the killing of alligators.
Yeah.
But wait a minute, don't they kill people?
In Florida, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But but anyway, in case you just joined us, this hour is devoted entirely to the discussion of otters. And we're doing that because nobody really was calling at the beginning of the show, and we feel that if you don't know about otters, don't call us. Okay?
It's only 4 minutes after the hour.
Now, Charlie, since you seem to be the fan of otters, since you have one on your chest tonight, what do otters eat?
I think they eat fish because they swim around in rivers and stuff. So I think they eat fish.
Do they?
I could Google it.
What do otters taste like? Chicken.
Chicken, of course.
Yeah, it tastes just like chicken.
Everything tastes
By
like
the way,
chicken.
we're having a horrendous thunderstorm here. I mean, this booming lightning show, everything. It's just
Yeah, but
flat,
also
flooding.
you're supposed to be getting really hellish tornadoes in your area, up around Waco.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you may get a real scoop tonight later on when the tornado hits.
So I need more people to call just in case he loses his power. Okay.
Yeah, so yeah,
But be
that's
sure if you call up, you know everything there is to know about otters. All right.
yeah, Texas's grid is pretty shaky, so we could lose power any second.
Well, that's
now.
because you went out and didn't pay for one. You
Yeah.
know, you made your own.
Yeah, that's our wonderful governor.
And tell me something that's made in Texas besides rockets. Right?
Yeah. Aren't Teslas made here now?
Are they made there now? I don't know.
Yeah, I think we got a big plant in Austin here.
Oh,
yeah.
oh really? Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. All right. But by the way, here comes Tony. I wonder if Tony knows what the topic is tonight.
Otters are carnivorous mammals.
Oh, really? So they eat meat.
Yeah.
So what
So
would
they probably eat mice and all kinds of birds, whatever.
they
Yeah.
could
They'll-
eat?
they'll-
Wait a
yeah.
minute. Wait a minute. That they could eat people.
Yeah. Their
Yeah.
diets consist of fish and vegetables. No, fish in invertebrates.
Yeah, so they do eat fish too. Yeah, okay.
Oh, okay. You didn't hear what the topic was tonight, Tony?
No, I made split pea soup though just now. I just finished
No,
it.
no, no. That
We weren't
no,
talking about that.
We're
Oh.
not talking
Yeah.
about split peas.
Except otters eat split peas.
Do they?
Oh,
Yes.
otters! What's making you talk about otters?
Well,
Yeah.
this is our topic tonight
Oh,
because
my, I feel
nobody
like I'm-
was calling at the beginning of the show, and you may notice what Charlie is wearing. And it's,
Remember Wild Kingdom? Wasn't that like about the animals? Remember that on Sunday nights?
Yeah.
I remember watching that. Yeah.
It's amazing how you can change topics, Tony.
Well, I figured it might segue in. Is that what you used to
I mean,
into
no,
otters,
you're,
right?
tr-
Remember
you're
that?
trying to drive us away from talking about otters because, be honest,
Yeah.
you don't know a goddamn thing about.
I don't know
otters.
anything about otters. Other maybe
Okay.
are they in the zoo in the
Well,
Bronx?
now we're
Am I
going to hear
mistaken?
from Alan, who's getting all the otter information he can
Yeah.
get
They
together.
remind me of a seal. Are they close in the seal family?
Otters?
I don't know.
I
Could
don't
be.
know. Go ask a seal.
Yeah, go ask us.
Well, was that Shamu? Remember Shamu? Wasn't he a seal or no?
No, that was a that was.
I remember as a kid going, we took us to see
That was
it.
a-
That was a
But
killer.
was a killer
Shamu was a
whale,
killer
wasn't it?
whale. Killer whale.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
otters can live up to 16 years.
Wow.
Oh, really? Well, screw
Pretty
them.
But they might make good pets.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you got to put them in a tub.
But you see,
So you got to have a big aquarium for them.
if I got an otter and I knew he could live 16 years, I don't like any animal that's going to look at me and go, you're probably going to be gone while I'm still here. Where's the food? Lee, tell me where the food is left.
Who do I call if something happens?
Yeah, if something happens. So, anyway. I guess, let's see here. What kind of, we aren't getting great numbers with otter talk.
No, I'm afraid not.
No, damn it. I
People
thought,
don't-
Go
I,
back
I
to
don't care
split
about
peas
otters.
again.
I made homemade soup.
oh God, are you going to bring
How
something?
much spam
Oh,
is in it?
sorry. Yeah. No, I actually had homemade ham. I used the leftovers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, Marjorie makes pea soup.
Oh, you like it, right? It's good. You like it or?
He didn't say he liked it.
I
He just
love
said
her
Marjorie
pea
made
soup. I absolutely.
I love that.
I
I
would.
got it for tomorrow now.
I would
figured.
marry her pea soup. I would have sex with her pea soup if it were possible.
Tomorrow he's having pea soup.
That's how
Watch him
good
get
her-
up in the morning.
That's how
My
good
mom
her.
always tried to get
Well,
us to
you see,
eat pea soup. I never
Marjorie
would.
doesn't just make pea soup.
You said remember she's make very good soup. She said. Remember on the radio show you said.
Yeah.
Yes, but she doesn't make a certain amount of pea soup that she and I can eat for dinner, or that we have some people over and they can have, and maybe there's some leftovers for tomorrow. She
Yeah, I made a
makes
whole
enough pea soup to last for 3 weeks.
Oh, that's a lot. I only use one bag. I use
She's
one
got
bag. She must
these-
use.
She's got these pots.
Oh,
If I had a chance, I'd go get one of them just
Oh,
to
wow, that's
show you
big.
that they
If
use
Phil
it.
got on,
Yeah, I believe it.
That they use in the
It's like-
army. That they use in the army.
Yeah, come and get it.
if Phil got on the show tonight, he would claim that most otters are Republicans.
Well, now you said his name, and you know
He's
what's
probably
gonna
listening.
happen. You know what's
He
gonna
told me he
happen,
bought a new computer, a nice new souped up computer.
Yeah.
which I told him not to buy.
I know he told me that.
No, he spent too much money for it, because if you go online to YouTube and look up this computer and then the high version of that same computer, it says buying that high version is a waste of money, because the value that it gives you for the extra money is not equivalent to what you just get with like the one I have here.
He
got it
doesn't
from
go to
B&H,
YouTube.
right?
He goes
Had
to
the one
TikTok
up
to
you.
get his.
He had to one up me, yeah.
Yeah.
That's basically it. And so I forced him to waste money, you know.
He gladly likes the yeah.
No, but I mean, I believe me, I studied these computers.
I mean, I know you guys love the
And I
computers. You're like
decided, I use this as a tool, okay? An absolute tool. I use it to do this program. I use it to do my video editing. I use it for everything. And it's a terrific machine. It's never had less power than I need. It is a speedy, spiffy computer. I also checked it against the higher priced one. And I would have gotten the higher priced one if it had been that significantly better than the lower price one. But it is not 2 times or even 3 times greater than the one that I have. Okay? So
I
you
should
shouldn't
agree.
waste your money. Most people online say do not waste your money buying the expensive one. It's the thing Apple did to be a sucker's bet.
If
for
he
people.
didn't buy the expensive one, he would have had to send that money to Trump.
No, if he could have spent that money on other stuff,
Yes.
maybe a
Just
new
spend it on
lens.
Faye.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Take her out to dinner.
He's very generous with Faye.
Yeah.
I mean, the point is that it was a waste of his money, and I'm sure it's speedy and I'm sure it's fast, but it's not twice as fast as mine.
Oh, yeah, he's gonna call up now. There you go.
And for what he's got to do, he doesn't have to do with it what I have to do with it. He only does. He says, "Well, I needed
loves
it.
his
I needed it
photography.
because I'm doing Zoom calls." And
Oh,
I go,
he's doing
"Yeah,
Zoom, yeah.
with Zoom calls, you can use a goddamn iPad."
Yeah.
He said, "Well, I didn't need it for my photographs." Well, you can do that with this thing just fine. With the cheaper one. You don't have to get the most expensive one because that may not be the best one for your buck. I mean, yeah, it's a little more powerful and so on, but it's not double. Because
Next year it'll be half off.
Oh, well, you know what?
Yes.
This is the part that's really going to drive me nuts. Any day now, they're probably coming out with a faster chip in it, the M2 chip. It may be coming out any day. And next year, the beginning of the year, they're going to come out with one with the M3 chip, which is even so much faster. I mean,
You'll have to buy it.
well, what's amazing about Apple is that you could actually buy one of their Mac Minis with an M2 chip in it, which they come now with, an M2 chip, and it's almost as fast as this thing that I've got here. And it's
Yours
certainly,
is the
it's certainly,
Studio, right?
huh? Yeah.
Studio.
Yeah, it's a Studio Max, but I mean, when they add that M3 chip, this thing is going to just, go crazy. But there are very few people out there, if you go online and look at YouTube, are buying the one that Phil bought for exactly the reason I'm talking about, But he won't listen to me, Oh no, I've got to spend it because I need this incredible amount of computing power in order to do a Zoom call.
Yeah.
You never know, but Elon Musk might call him for help with his rocket launch.
His rocket launch. Yeah, yeah. He might say, "Can I borrow?"
They could wrap it in carpet next
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Imagine he's installed his carpet here, Elon Musk.
By the
How
way,
come it's looking in the corner?
By the way, that story today, I loved watching it on the newscasts and so on because it went, oh, it failed, it crashed. What
it?
happened? Well, Elon Musk set up his super rocket, the one that can take a whole buttload of people up to space and materials and so on and so forth. It even has windows in the front.
Window?
Yes,
Wow.
windows.
The bay window. You can blast
No,
off.
but you just yeah.
I
So
was
anyway,
bothered.
this is the first time he's sent it up, and everybody is going crazy. Oh, it crashed and it didn't. Well, to begin with, it was meant to crash.
Oh, really?
That
Okay.
was for starters. And I saw an interview with a guy who was an astronaut and the head of the space station. And he said, "Well, what did you think of this? Was this a failure?" And he says, "Quite the opposite. This was a major success." He said, "Why?" He said, "To begin with, it flew for 2.5 minutes. It got back almost out of the atmosphere. Okay,
Wow.
and all it was meant to do was to turn around and come right back down and splash down in the Atlantic Ocean. Oh, or maybe in the Gulf. I can't remember which. And
Hawaii.
they went, yeah, huh?
In
Outside
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Was it Hawaii where it was supposed to splash down?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then it had to fly a little bit more. But really, what happened is that they proved that thing could go up. That they had the power to get it up there. The problem that happened wasn't with the ship itself; it was with the rockets, because about 4 of the rockets failed, and so they couldn't
Yeah, they
maneuver.
said, see, 7 of them failed on, no,
No, 4 of them were, I think, failed on launch, and then as it was going,
7 of them failed on the way up,
you
yeah.
could see about 2 more going. I mean, they've got like about 40 engines.
Yeah, there was 33 of them total, and
Oh, wow.
a total of 10 failed by the time it got up to where they destroyed
Yeah.
it.
So they can fix that.
Yeah.
They can fix that. But this is how you go through this process of learning how to send yourself up with large payloads into space. You're going to fail the first couple of times. I mean, look at how many times Musk failed with SpaceX. But getting these things to come back and land, okay? He had to do that, I don't know, 20 times before he got one that finally landed. And once he did, they've gone 186 flights bringing those things back and landing. So, I mean, that's what the whole process is. It's a learning process. And it was a pretty good deal, I think, all the way around. And it's not a failure. And also this guy, I'm trying to remember his name now. He really does a lot of stuff online with with the space station and so on. He's a favorite with all the fans because of his ability at drilling down into the space situation and making people understand it. Okay, and I'm just putting my watch in here to charge, and he's very good about that. And he said that he honestly believes what they did is they blew up the rocket.
Oh.
They did. They
Yeah.
confirmed that.
Yeah, they confirmed it. Okay,
Yeah. They pushed the self-destruct button, or they called it termination. They called it
They
something
had a
like
name for
flight
it.
termination button or something like that.
But anyway, they were the ones who blew it up, and they blew it up because it was starting
Because
to fail.
when you got 33 engines going like that, and 1 or 2 or 3, and I'm sure Charlie can tell you about inertia, the physical, when something's going up like that, and you got 2 engines over here pushing this way and 3 over here pushing that way, it's the same thing in the drag races. If you got 8 cylinders going, and if one cylinder goes out at 300 miles an hour within 3 seconds, it's going to push the car this way.
Sideways, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what was happening. So it was starting to spin the rocket.
and they didn't want it to come down and crash
Right,
into
they
something.
didn't want it to start shooting
so
down.
Blow it up there. By the way, there's
exactly.
a guy who wants to get on named Jack Hoff, Does that sound like anybody?
Sounds
Jack?
bogus to
That
me.
sounds bogus to me.
Yeah, Jack Hoff. Well, Jack Hoff, you know, I'm going to say goodbye to you now, and thanks for
Probably a friend to bend over.
Thanks for yes, right. Yeah. But anyway, so I mean, but what I hate is when I watch the news and they're going, "Oh, and the thing failed. Oh, it's a failure for space." It wasn't a failure for SpaceX. NASA has never been able to lift that kind of payload
No.
with a rocket off of the face of the Earth since they've been in business. All they're doing is still using their same old rockets. This is the one that's going to be able to go to the moon and bring a lot of materials to the moon. Believe me, and give them 6 months to a year, and they will have it all figured out. You know. Let's see here. We have Jeff H. Phoenix in Arizona. Phoenix, Arizona. That's hilarious. You know what they're doing tonight? They're putting a lot of them up now.
I'm a different name.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be like a ton of them. So I'm not going to answer any. 4 people right now are in the waiting room. Now it's 5 people. Let me see some of the names
You're
you're
getting
using.
a big crowd now.
Derek, J.J. Sosloman, James Jackson James, C.J. Becker. Boy, this show has suddenly gotten popular. My God. Yeah. All of you. Oh, now we got 6 of them.
Wow.
And they're going to see how many. Then all of a sudden they all disappear. Yeah, they give up on it.
Think of all the porn we're missing.
All the porn we're missing. Yeah, I should put them all on at once and let them have like a fight with each other on who can, do the best. Now we have. Let's see here. What's this one? I love these names they come up with.
They come up with some funny names.
Not really.
No.
Don't encourage them. Oh, this one's in Russian.
Oh, wow.
Oh boy.
Russian.
Must
Send
be
it to
Boris
Charlie. He
Badenov.
reads Russian.
Oh, what is it? Putin? No, Russian. Huh. No, that's not Greek. That is Russian. Yeah, I know what Russian looks like. Now we're down to 4 people. See, now down to 3. Now up to 4 again. Well, let's not give them any fun times here. So we won't recognize their existence. Anyway, it's probably all the same guy. What I don't understand is, don't these people have a life?
Yeah.
No.
Don't they ever get laid? I guess not, because they got to watch all that porn they send us. And it's always gay porn. If you're going to send us porn, send us something.
Yeah,
send us
the good
something.
stuff.
Yeah, the good stuff.
Send us the next time we're seeing a fisting scene, have Marjorie Taylor Greene be the recipient.
Yes, exactly. I wonder if I get demonetized for that if they're algorithms. By the way, I got demonetized yesterday for a show that had no dirty words on it. None. And let me see. They demonetized me today. I did this thing with Marjorie. No, they didn't demonetize that today.
You used a 4-letter word in that one. I heard you.
Did I really?
The word work. No.
No, the S word.
Oh, the
Said
S word? Did I
Yeah.
really? Oh, I think that's kind of allowed.
Oh, okay.
It's funny. I always wondered about 4-letter words and why we even consider them bad.
Yeah.
I mean, look at all the trouble we go to prevent people from using this language on the air. They do an Academy Award broadcast, and what do? They've got all the 7-second delays going and everything, and one guy whose entire job is to sit there with his finger on the button in case somebody says.
Guy in the chat, can you please accept me into the Zoom? I'm Sadie N-word. And is
Sadie N-word, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Really? Oh, really?
Okay.
Let me see here. Is that what they're trying
let
now?
you in, Sadie, if you bring Bend over with you.
Oh,
You gotta put that in the chat.
let me see here. Let me see. I can do something about them. I can not remove them.
Report them.
Report them. Well, I don't want to report them because I have to fill out stuff. You know, that's too much trouble. Let's just put the user in timeout.
Why don't you send all these weird people to Tony and let him deal with them?
Just pull this comment.
Yeah, yeah. I'll tell you what we'll do. To all these people, just give us your address and we'll send you some of Tony's pea soup. Okay?
Absolutely.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah.
And with a little coffee
As
in
a
it.
penalty.
That'll keep you up all night.
They'll never sleep. They don't know whether to shit or stay up all night.
Now, the other big piece of news tonight was that Alec Baldwin. It looks like they're going to not charge him. They're going
Now he'll call in. Watch.
Who? Oh, Alec
Yeah,
Baldwin.
the fake Alec Baldwin.
One
will call
guy
in now.
just signed in as I got. Wait a minute. One guy just signed in under the name "I got good porn." We should put him on. Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he's
Let's
on it.
make sure it's straight porn though.
Oh no, there are two people now. I got good porn. It must be the same guy. You know. Anyway, you people have fun out there. Have fun. We're just having a little chat here. Goes till midnight, and then the good talk show comes on. You know, so I just love some of these people. Anyway, where are we? Oh yeah. So what do you think about the fact that Alec Baldwin doesn't look like he's going to be charged? They're going to drop the charges against him. I think it's right.
I do too.
You
I
know?
do too. Accidents happen.
My union came out in favor of him, okay, saying that, you know, talent should not be held responsible for something like that. Even if he's the producer of a picture, should not be held responsible for that. He didn't have anything to, you know, he was told the gun was safe. So he had to, I mean, if I were an actor and somebody handed me a gun and said, the gun has been tested, been looked at and everything, it's safe, it's not going to hurt anybody, right? Then I assume that's true.
That's
you
right.
know, and that what's in there is a blank. And I have to rely on other people. Well, if I then pull the trigger and somebody gets killed as a result of it, is it my fault? No. No, it's Tony's fault.
Yeah, blame me. No, I can take it.
Yeah, you can take it. Yeah. Right. We'll rent you out as the person that people can blame for something.
Yeah, just blame me.
Yeah,
I don't even leave the house. I just trust
Alec Baldwin says he's going to continue the movie Rust, but he's going to only serve Tony's pea soup.
Oh, okay, yeah. No,
that'll make him go crazy.
No, they've gone back to filming it already.
Yeah, I was going to say, I heard it on 10 Wednesday. Is he actually filming?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
This
that's
film,
It's easier to make a movie that way if they film it, Tony.
you know, the problem with this film is that it wasn't meant to be a major film. As a matter of fact, they were only making it to like release it for a couple of days so people could get the tax benefits off of it. You know,
Really?
or they were going to sell it to Netflix or somebody like that. This thing wasn't going to make it into as a major motion picture going into theaters, you know. But now they may do something like that because everybody's going to want to see it.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're going to want to see. You're not going to see him shoot the gun that killed the person when he did it.
Bill Myers said that he's going to call in, so admit him.
So admit him?
Yes.
Oh, there he is. Okay. Wait a minute. Are you sure that's Phil?
I don't know. Now that I said it.
Let me just check it out
He
here.
got a message on a DM on it, I guess.
Let me see here. Oh, there. Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. That was a good way of getting in there, Phil.
Yeah, everybody text me if you want to get on the show.
Yeah. Let me see here. Oh, let me get rid of these. Oh, excuse me, folks. I just did something. I want to get rid of these people.
I passed on that you were going to get on a show and let them in.
Yeah, right. I just did.
That was the intention of the text. Thanks.
Yeah, that was the intent. Well, I mean, that's a way of getting around it. There are a lot. Have they hung up all of them yet? No, I don't know. Let me see here. There we go. No, there's still two of them are
I
on.
wonder if it's a group of them that all get together and say, "Hey, let's all call Alex."
Well, at least I'm getting
So you
some.
get 'em-
Listen. At least compared to the beginning of the show tonight, I'm getting some calls.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, that was it. They heard you say that nobody was calling, so they haven't called in.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it's one guy doing it, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there are that many people who can't get laid tonight. You know.
Oh, there's 6 here now.
I guess you're right. But anyway, so, you know. God, it's, yeah. So, you know what I got to do? They want me to make a tape. They want people to make tapes about Shecky. Talking about Shecky. Just a little tribute to Shecky. For this thing that's coming up called Sheck Fest, which they're doing. It's going to be his memorial. It's going to be at 10 o'clock in the morning. I got to get up at fucking 10 o'clock in the morning. So I got to come up with something to say about him, and I can't come up with anything. You know, I mean,
ask ChatGPT.
Just speak from your heart. Just talk about the things.
I can
that
speak
you've
from
done
my
for the last
heart, but if I'm going
40
to
or
talk about
50 years.
Shecky, to speak from my heart, it'd take me about 2 hours. You know.
Yeah.
Well, you
Go
know,
up with the door handle from the car, the window handle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good
that's
story.
kind of an
That'd be a
inside
good
joke.
starter.
No, I
just-
can tell the story about how I broke his door handle
You could do
No.
that.
from the inside,
Yeah.
and that I finally figured out how you could solve the problem is by opening the door from the outside from the inside by rolling down the window and then pulling on the handle.
Mm.
Well, you know, you could tell maybe how you met, how you first met, or no, would that be more personal? How they for his birthday?
Look, they're asking me to boil down 45
Yeah, I was gonna
years
say that's
Yeah.
hard.
into probably a minute.
That's kind of.
you know?
Every morning, Tony calls me and tells me, you know, they got a hold of me from Shecky's
I was joking with him.
funeral thing, and you know what they said? Don't come.
I'm not getting invited. I was joking with you.
Well, I'm sure. Well, I'm sure if they knew you existed, you would get
Yeah, I
invited.
mean,
But nobody,
I'm sure if
they
you
don't
took
know you
Phil
exist.
Meyer off your Facebook profile,
I
you'd
think
get
I think
invited.
in many ways, except for certain people there, they barely know I exist. You know, because there was this. Shecky had this. I talked about it. This is this many-tiered level of his life, and he had, for instance, his family. Okay, that's one tier. He had the people he worked with at Letterman. That was another tier. Then he had all his movie people, the people he dealt with, you know, old movies and, you know, so on. Boom, that one was over there. And then there was a lesser group, of which I was one, which were his close friends. People that just knew him for 45 years and didn't stop talking to him for 45 years. And I don't know that for instance, that the family people necessarily knew the Letterman people, or that the Letterman people knew the movie people that he dealt with. So, you know, I mean, it was this whole different levels of people, and I came in one of those categories that I think most of those people didn't know I existed, or if they did, it was only because he talked about me.
but you know, can I say one thing, Alex?
Yeah.
On behalf of you, because you're here. But he talked so nice about you. We used to always like, he used to be like, it's kind of nice to know that he thought so highly of you. Like Alex is I mean, I don't want to let it out that Alex is a nice guy because I know you have a stick. But it's like, I kind of feel like that's even like, how can you even sum it up? Like, you have a special friendship that others won't even have. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'd always look back on it. Like, that's nice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Like, sometimes when it's work, it seems like they didn't know him like you did. You know what I'm saying? You're not impressed with
you
that.
know, I never knew that how Shecky felt about me.
Oh, he loved you. I
No,
can tell you.
I know that, but I never knew it because he never expressed it. He was never that way. He would never express that to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he ever said, "I love you." You know.
No, he never would. But you could tell that when he would respond, he would yell like when he would be like, "Shut up already!" When I was going like, "Cancer things, you'll be fine." Like he was more asking about me than like he would never say anything else.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
he was not a touchy-feely person. You know. He
That's
didn't
like my
have-
brother. Yeah, he would
Yeah.
yell at you like, "Shut up already."
Right, but he was a great guy, and I always knew that he would be there for me, and he knew I'd be there for him. And that's what really a friendship is all about, you know.
Exactly.
And I knew that, I mean, he often told me, he said, look, you know, he said, you're out of work now. If you ever need any money, just let me know. You know, I'll give it to you. I don't even want it back. You know, I got enough of it. I can give it away. And I
Bill's
said,
that way with his friends.
yeah, I said, I hope I never have to do that.
Yeah.
I said, but it's wonderful that you think of me that way, you know.
Yeah.
He said, if you need a place to stay, you know, the wife kicks you out of the house, you can use the other room here.
He has to walk by your room. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Alex.
he used to refer to that as my room.
When I used to walk up my coffee, he says, "Alex has got a great room. You should take this room.
Yeah.
It's a great room." I used to get the rocking chairs. This is
And
a great room.
I said to him, unfortunately, Shecky, this is the room your mother died in. Okay.
You have to put your own stuff in there. I tell him, yeah.
Yeah. No, he never. It's funny about him that he never wanted to sleep in that room
I couldn't either, Alex.
because he said it was too noisy from the street.
Yeah, but that's by the street. Yeah,
Yeah.
I couldn't. Yeah, I can't stand. I sleep with the radio in the back of the
He
house.
still slept in the same room that he slept in when he was a kid, in probably the same size bed. It was like a twin, I think.
I'm in the same room now. When I grew up in the first floor, in the back room.
Yes,
the
but
same
you're
room.
a retard, okay?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
There's
exactly.
a big difference there. Shecky wasn't a retard.
No, he's the guy. I like when he yelled. He used to do that.
Brett, take a breath. You're Tony. You're used to being locked in that room. For
Yeah, they
hours
only come
at
to
a
me when they
time.
want to know something. Where's this? Where mommy put this? Over here, over there. Okay, you can go back now. I make split pea soup. I send you a thing of it. My brother came home with his girlfriend. I'm in the kitchen listening to 1010 Wins, making split pea soup in my Jim Henson pajamas. He said, "What the hell is going on here?" So I'm
In
cooking
your
for Mom.
what?
My Jim Henson, my Sesame Street pajamas. Hold on a second.
No,
This
no,
is
we don't want to see them. Oh my God. Oh geez.
Oh my God, his Jim.
I got them $12 on Amazon. I love Amazon, Alex.
I'll get back to
So,
you.
Charlie, anything that goes up there, if you want, I'll get it for you. Alan, you want a pair of pajamas? I'll send them to you.
They don't make his size. You got to go to
Hey, wait a
Ahab the tent maker.
Wait a minute. Do it for me. Do it for me. Size. I don't know what size?
Gigantic.
No.
What's-
Oh, I was talking about Alan. I
Oh,
thought
you want a pair of the pajamas? I'll order them for you.
No, I'm okay. Thank you.
You know, I mean,
Send him-
I
send
just
him
like
to
to
Bill.
have
He
a pair
still
to.
wets the
I just
bed.
like to have a pair to drive Marjorie nuts.
Oh, I'll get you a pair. You want the ones I have?
Because we
I'll
do.
order them now.
Sure, you want-
you
don't
know,
even
like
wash 'em,
I have
just send 'em.
I have these that I'm currently using. Wait a minute.
What size? I get you an extra large. They shrink in the wash, Alex. I got an extra large.
I can't even. You can't even see them. I have to.
Let me get. I'm just gonna go back
Stand
to
up on the chair.
No, I'm not going to step up on the chair. This chair.
kidding.
This chair.
I'll look at my past orders and I'll.
He'll be joining Shecky if he steps up. in
I'm
that chair.
kidding. Jesus.
Yeah.
I'll order them for you over the weekend, Alex. Then I'll send them over.
Boy, son of a bitch.
Hey,
We have matching things. I was gonna. Which one? My brother. I brought my brother superhero stuff, and my niece and my sister.
No,
They
but
know it's
this would
the
drive
box.
they would drive Marjorie nuts if I had.
That would drive her crazy if she sees you with those. And if you said I got them for you, she'll throw you out.
Yeah, what
you know
happened?
what would drive her nuts is if Tony gave back the silverware he took from the.
Oh, I never took
your
any.
apartment.
Tell him what I said, Phil. Remember? He thinks when you invited me over, I was going to take the silverware. I said they didn't have any, Phil.
The only reason he came to my house, by the way,
Yes.
was I was having a party, and Albert on the air said, I'll invite you as my +1 if you'll come to the party wearing your footy pajamas.
I actually have those too.
And you didn't wear them.
I didn't wear them. Shecky
But
told
you
me don't
showed
do
up
it.
anyway.
I did anyway, reluctantly, with cookies.
Yeah,
My mother made me buy cookies at Fortunato's.
and then you brought them to the party?
Yeah, I got you the Italian striped cookies. Oh, they're so good.
Didn't you
I-
say you took half of them back?
No, I didn't take anything back. My mother said, you better bring something over. She thought you knew Johnny Carson. My mother doesn't know anybody. She says, how famous is he? I says, he's pretty famous, I think. Do I know him? I said, Ma, you don't listen to the radio that much. She thought you were Howard Stern at first because she knows I listen to you and Stern. She goes,
Hey,
well,
Tony,
not really.
take a breath.
Yeah, go
Alan,
get another cup of coffee, Tony. By the way, Charlie disappeared because
Alex, good audience here.
he
What?
lost his power.
He lost his
Really?
power. Yeah, well, they
Yeah.
got those tornadoes going on.
He just sent me a text. Well, I hope it's not a tornado.
what do you think? He's a superhero?
Well, I guess you can send a text even if you can't get on here, because here you got to go through the internet. But texts go through the internet.
But
they go-
providing the internet is up in his neighborhood, he can.
You know, talk about power. What was it, Mississippi? Or they had was it Arkansas? Yesterday or this morning, they had this terrible hurricane. And
Oklahoma.
Sure, it wasn't Kansas. I mean,
no, it wasn't. I think it was Arkansas.
Oklahoma.
It was Oklahoma City. That's it.
Mhm.
Yeah, it really tore the place up, didn't it?
Yeah, it was Cole, Oklahoma.
I suppose, but nobody could really tell.
Yeah, really. Better living in California. Sorry, folks.
Yeah, but well, what they're having down in Texas tonight are tornadoes,
Yes.
and
Charlie's area is under a tornado watch. I have friends of mine that are 40 miles north of
I
him.
don't know if he's
in
on a
Killeen.
tornado watch. I know up near Waco there is the eye of the tornado watch up there, and Texas I don't think gets that many tornadoes that I know of.
Do that again, Phil. Raise your hand so I can get a picture, a screenshot of that. That's a first.
Hey, what's his name? I was sleeping. I got up at like 3 this morning. I couldn't sleep, and I had to work out this morning. And so when I came home, I went to sleep. But Alan said that you were talking about the computer that I got earlier in the show, and I was going to do an unboxing.
We don't need you to unbox it.
Oh no, this is a good. You see, I got the computer. Here's the box, right?
Why don't you just title it? Oh, that's the Mac Studio waste of money.
Oh, look what they sent me.
Oh, what?
It's not an otter. Kick him off.
Yeah, he doesn't know what our. We do have a Kevin.
That's me.
Kevin, you haven't contributed. Have you contributed to our otter talk?
No, I haven't.
Yeah. Well, we started the show tonight by saying we were going to discuss all otters all the time here.
Oh.
Charlie was wearing a shirt that had an otter on
Here
it.
comes Wayne. Here comes Wayne. Let's make sure Wayne is here. That's Wayne. Hi, Wayne.
The real Wayne.
Hello.
Want to make sure that you don't talk. When you call the show, you don't talk a lot, but when you call Jack's show, you talk all the time.
No, not that much over there.
Jack pays him by the word.
Yeah. No, we were talking about otters. Do you have any good otter stories?
No, but I do remember seeing a video up on YouTube there where somebody had pet otters.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. So they make good pets, do they?
Yeah, I guess so. I didn't see any otters attack anybody. So.
Oh, okay.
They try to pull scuba divers' fins down at in Monterey. There's a dive site called Lighthouse, and there's seals and there's otters out there, and they'll play with you and they'll swim past you. Sometimes they'll try to grab at your fin. They're very playful.
Well, I'm glad I wish you had called earlier when we were discussing otters.
I guess those would be sea otters, right?
Yes. Are there other otters besides sea otters? Are there river otters?
Otherwise known as whale.
River otters.
Otherwise known as whale bait.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, large
That's
whales
their dinner.
love to eat otters.
Well, are they carnivores? Are whales carnivores?
Well, killer
no,
whales are.
Killer whales are.
Well, I thought that
Killer whales
I
are.
just thought that they just went along and just ate lots of fish all at one time,
Humpbacks.
The orcas will.
They go for the
Wait a
sardine.
minute, don't say humpback. I don't want to get demonetized. Okay.
Humpback whales
Okay.
go for sardines. What they do is when they feed, they go down, they get them, and then
And
when
the
they
big
come
problem,
up,
the big problem, you didn't say this. The big problem the killer whales have with those sardines is being able to get them out of the can.
Yeah, really.
You know,
Own them.
Funny.
And then there's a whale, the largest whale. I forget what the name of it is, but it eats plankton.
That's the
Like kelp, isn't it?
no,
yeah, he's thinking
the
of
krill. What the hell is the name of that one? That's the big one.
Yeah, the real big one that goes like
Gray
80.
whale. Gray whale.
Well, there's the gray, but there's also
Humpback.
a whale shark. A whale shark, and those can get extremely large.
Yeah, but the orcas are the ones that eat the seals and the porpoise and all
well,
that.
why aren't we talking about whales being bad for the environment?
Uh,
I mean,
Well, they shut down all the crab fishing out here and the salmon fishing.
well, they like to eat crab and,
did they,
and
wait a minute,
salmon.
wait, hold on a second. They cut down all the crab fishing.
Yeah, it's all shut down because of the migrations.
Yeah.
Too many entanglements.
Well, they got the Mexicans coming in.
Hold on a second. Let me explain this to me. What's the problem?
They're not allowing any crabbing or salmon fishing.
Not
because
allowing crabbing. That's going to put my wife out of business.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Mine too.
Yeah.
But they shut it down for what, about 6 months, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think you're
I think
right.
just-
While
just
the
private.
whales migrate.
So the whales, don't get tangled up in the pods and all that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's putting a lot of people
Power's
in
back
dire
on.
straits.
Wow.
Last time they did it, they lost a lot of fishermen, and this time they're.
So
they're
how long
really
are you going to
down.
be without Dungeness crab?
It sucks.
Really?
Yeah.
It's going to get
Definitely.
expensive. Last time it got up, I think I bought 2 crabs, and it cost me like $40.
Oh,
Yep.
jeez.
Christmas
Oh, my. I
time.
remember when my parents used to go down to Fisherman's Wharf and buy 2 for $5.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they didn't taste good at all.
Oh, they tasted great.
Oh, we have them every Christmas, but this Christmas I bought 2 of them just for the heck of it.
My
and they
father
were
on the way home.
frozen too long and everything else. They were
my
nasty.
my father on the way home from San Francisco, a couple of days a week, would pick up about 2 Dungeness crabs all cracked up,
Yep.
and
Parisian
a
bread.
bottle of what he called Dago Red,
Yep.
wine, and a sourdough French bread.
Yep.
And we would just sit. That was dinner for us, and it was wonderful.
Yep, and we'd fry shrimp too.
And you had to have the cocktail sauce.
Not too long ago, I had some Dungeness crab from Costco, and it was not expensive, and it was really good.
Well, it came down real fast. It's down to a decent price now. So,
Yeah.
but now it's probably going to go back up again.
Now, Charlie, tell us what happened to your electricity.
It just went black all of a sudden.
Hey, once you go black, you never go back.
Well, luckily it did come back.
Oh, wait
I
for
was
that.
out for about 5 minutes.
Wow. And what was it caused by? Just the weather?
No, I thought we had these huge thunderstorms.
I'll tell you
right
what
now.
it's caused by. Your stupid governor who
Well, yeah.
wouldn't buy his electricity from out of state.
Is that wonderful?
Had to write
I
a
thought
quick
they had
check
their own
and you
grid.
got your lights back.
Wait, hold on a second. What were you saying, Charlie?
I thought they had their own grid.
That's it. Yeah. And it's not the top of the line grid either.
Yeah, that's why they every time the power goes out in Texas, they can't get it back immediately because they got to rely on their own grid because they opted out of using other grids.
And it's because of all those EVs charging. It's
That was
caused
it,
the
yeah.
state to lose their electricity.
And now we'll give Phil 1 minute to tell us what he thinks about the Fox Dominions.
Well, Charlie and not Charlie, Tony and Alan both said something that I thought was interesting, that they fired Bongino this morning. I listened to him say that this was his last show and he was moving on and so forth.
Who's that?
Who's that? I have no idea.
And Bongino is a show, and I think they're firing a number of other Fox hosts.
I never heard of him. I
I
guess
haven't
that's
heard of
the,
it. I haven't
He was a Secret Service agent for Obama.
I guess that's the reason why he can.
No,
he'll let
he was
go.
he was a Secret Service agent for Obama,
I'm
and
not talking about that though.
No, I'm giving. I got a minute here.
Yeah,
Okay, go ahead. Take your
He's got a
minute.
minute. After
So-
that, he's going to have to shut up for the rest of the
All right.
show. Go
So
ahead.
because they had to pay out the 700 and some odd million in fines, Tony and Alan both thought that maybe they were laying off a number of these hosts to save money, and it made sense to me.
No. I mean,
No?
we're talking almost $800 billion. I don't
That's
think
nothing.
that even all of the combined salaries of people at Fox even come close to that. It does
It's just
represent
nothing.
it does represent 20% of their advertising revenue every year, however.
The cost of their hosts.
And by the way, that isn't the last suit. There is now one from what was that?
Bigger one.
Smartmatic, I think.
Yeah, Smartmatic, yeah.
The
I
Smartmatic.
thought they were going after the My Pillow guy.
Well, no. Wait a minute. They are.
Yeah.
They are.
Now he's going to be selling socks soon, the pillow guy.
My pillow guy
Does.
he has to pay that $5 million that he
Oh, I thought it was a lot less than that.
no, the $5 million that he had put that challenge out to
Yeah.
debate the data that he had.
Oh, good.
He said anybody that can prove that the data was junk, and some guy went out and did it in like a few hours. It's supposed to take 2-3 months, and he went out and did it in a few hours and said it's all junk. And the court said you have to pay up that money, and
Right
he
on.
still has the other lawsuit against him as well.
Yeah.
Boy, he better sell a lot of goddamn pillows.
He's gonna be shitting
You
pillows.
know.
That's probably why he came out with My Pillow 2.0.
Well, he has now my slippers. He has my slippers.
My sandals.
He's in slippers.
Well, tell him to give them back.
This guy
That's his problem.
Got you a
He's got an F rating on his return policy at the BBB.
I'm
Oh.
sure.
Was Judge Janine one of the ones they let go?
Oh, yeah, Judge Janine and Charlie's getting canned out of here.
Did she get
We
canned?
can- She's an airhead, really. Come on, Phil. You know she's an idiot.
Yeah,
I like Judge.
She's a moron. She's a real moron.
He's
And
Trump's girl.
Bartolomo, Maria Bartolomo, is she?
That's the money lady. Joey
Another
Ramble-
moron.
No, but they got rid of Pirro. Good. I'm glad.
Yeah, they're all going. They're all
Time
going.
to clean house.
Well, I think that they, the only thing that bothered me, I said this last night, Phil, is that they allowed Fox to get off without an apology.
I wanted them to take the stand. That's
Well,
what.
Well, no,
Why
that's
they
what you
settle
want, and that's for looky-loos like you and everybody else who would like to see those
I would love to
guys
see
get up,
Tucker on the stand now.
get up there
They,
and
they
sweat.
had 785 million apologies.
That's true. They took that money. Yeah, they took the short way.
Nevertheless, I mean, people. I think it would have been nice to have an apology, have them admit they were wrong.
Yep.
Okay,
I
and
think-
they don't have to say that. In fact, they're saying quite the opposite. Oh,
Yeah.
this has made even better people out of us, better journalists out of us.
Now, do you think that there could be a backfiring because now Fox got sued and lost this case, that other media outlets are going to be held to the task or to the fire?
No, well, here, who do you call it? The two others, OAN and Newsmax, are both being sued by not only Dominion, by also what do you call it, Smartmatic. So, those are suits waiting to happen, and
I understand.
They say those suits may be just as strong. So I mean, somebody's going to be. People are being called to account. It's just that if you tuned into Fox on, I think the verdict came down. They decided to do that on Tuesday. If you tuned into Fox later on Tuesday, do you think there was any news about the finalization of this case?
Nothing.
Nothing.
know.
Zero.
Not even on the website.
Not even on the website.
So my point is that this kind of thing, because the media usually went in and said, well, this is a First Amendment thing, and they were very, very protective over the years of stories. And now by suing the right-wing news sources, this could turn around, and the left-wing news sources could also be.
I think they should all be held responsible.
Things they do in the
for it.
future,
But they haven't done it. They haven't done anything this libelous.
No.
but it opens the door.
No,
Well, yeah, if they blatantly know it's false, yeah, then they should be.
They should be sued.
We knew
if
that the
they're doing
Russia
the same thing.
We know that the Russia thing was false. We know that there was a lot of things that were false.
What
Russia
thing was false? And by the way, here's what I don't get. Have you seen the latest? The Republicans are trying to vote against money going to Ukraine, meaning that the Republican Party is now standing up for Russia.
Yes.
You're
no. That's exactly what they're doing.
Well, because I don't know why, I guess I don't know why. I'd be speaking.
It's because they're pricks, Phil. Excuse me, I just got demonetized.
What, for saying Phil's name?
Yeah.
Hey, yeah. I could bring the little rabbit back out.
You got a rabbit?
Stuffed rabbit. It's cute. You won't get demonetized for that.
Well, you're just stealing.
Pull a rabbit out of a Mac.
You're just stealing my bit from Channel 20 when I was Captain UHF.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And I have my hand puppet, Mr. Rabbit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I forgot about that, but yeah, this is the.
Oh, you got it. There it is.
Do you want me to pull mine out here and hold it up?
Look at that computer mode.
Do
you really have one, Alex, or are you?
By the way, if I held it up here, it would look exactly like yours.
But mine's faster.
Yes, but yours isn't twice as fast, and you paid twice as much money. You wasted your money. Go online to YouTube. People are constantly doing YouTubes about buy the Max, don't buy the Ultra.
Well,
you wasted your money, Phil. Why don't you listen to me next time?
I spent $1,000 more than you did.
No, you didn't. You spent
like $2,800.
No, I spent $25.
You got the one that you had to crank up.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Like a Model T?
That's right.
What did yours cost, Alex? What did yours cost, Phil?
Mine cost about 25, 26 tops.
I think mine was 40.
No, yours was 5 something.
Well, I got $500 off for Playboo credit card.
Playboo.
Boy, he's a sucker for everything. That's the B&H credit card.
Yeah. But those sons of guns, they didn't ship it until the 13th. I paid for it on the 14th.
We don't want to hear about your problems with this, Phil. It's not interesting.
It lowered my, not FICO, it lowered my, what's that Credit Karma thing? Vantage score by 25 points.
Why?
Well, the Playboo card only had a $10,000 limit, and I used 5,000 of it. So, and within one day, they went online. It shipped. I saw the bill.
Is everybody excited about hearing about this? How many want to hear more about it? Let's get back to talking about otters. Okay, otters.
Yeah, really. Show's over with. Time to play the music.
No. It is almost. I got a minute left. Thank you for reminding me. Oh, thank God. Only a minute left. Oh.
Yeah.
And by the way, Wayne, say something.
Yeah.
Say something.
Got any new lenses, Phil?
Oh, shut up.
Not yet.
Okay.
By the way,
I think there's a recession going on out there. I might have to be careful for a little while.
I bought this thing. I'm not that happy with it, oddly enough.
Oh, the Sony?
Yeah, the Sony. It's good. It takes beautiful pictures, but the stabilization doesn't work well. So I bought a whole rig for it. But you look at lenses, the cost of lenses.
Yeah.
They are. But, man, the price is massive on lenses. I want this lens, $1,500. That sort of thing.
For a $1,000 camera.
For a $1,000 camera, you put on a $1,500 lens.
Yeah, but your camera,
like slingers and ink. That's how they work.
Yeah, but anyway, there we go. There's the theme. See, that's pretty good. Yeah.
I can't hear it. but
Huh?
I can dance to it.
Well, I'm wondering why you guys can't hear it.
Oh, I can't hear it either.
Don't hear it. Yeah.
That's strange. That's very
We used
interesting.
to, but
Yeah, we used to.
Oh, you know something? I'll figure out. I think I know why. Maybe. But
Mix minus.
No, it isn't a matter of mix minus. It's a matter of, I don't know, something like, where's the theme going? There's the music there. Can you hear it now at all?
No.
You can't
No.
hear it now. Can you hear it?
Want me to sing?
Nah, yeah, forget it. I'll figure it out later.
I left my heart in
San Francisco. Yeah, right. Anyway, that's it. That's it for tonight, folks. Thank you very much, Alan, for joining us. Tony, good seeing you here. Kevin, wonderful. Phil Meyer, glad to have you here. Wayne, and also Charlie Wallace. Glad to have you here, in spite of the fact that there was a thunderstorm out there. Anyway, stay safe, and everybody, give a big wave goodbye, and I'll give a wave goodbye back at you. Okay, there they go, ladies and gentlemen. That's our citizen panel for tonight. Good little show, fun little show, just a lot of laughs and things like that going on. Jack Bishop is next. He's here with The Intersection. He'll take your calls on Skype at Gabnet Live. I will see you again tomorrow night. Same time, same station in life. And in the meantime, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? Good night, everybody.